What's going on, true believers? Welcome back to another episode of One Shot. I am your host, Jacob. What a light week this week. I don't know how many I picked up. I didn't even count them, but it is at least probably half of the ones that I've had the last couple weeks. If you hear any noise in the background, I apologize. They're doing construction on the house next door. Nothing I can do about that. But let's get into it. I mean, it's a light week, but I think most of these look like pretty solid titles. Let's start off by looking at Black Cat. This is issue number 7, The Gilded City's Conclusion. If you've been following this series at all, like I have, there was a godlike entity that I can't remember his name. I want to say the Fox. I think it's the Fox. Made a deal with. Spoilers. He made a deal to live forever because he was dying. I think he had some type of cancer, and he made a deal with this entity. He had to break a deal. He had to make the entity break a deal with somebody else by giving them something of greater value. Well, he gave the original deed to Manhattan to this entity. So this entity is trying to take all of Manhattan down into his vault. And Black Cat is trying to stop it. I've been enjoying this series pretty well. It's really solid. And this is the conclusion to that story arc. I don't know if they're continuing the Black Cat series. I think they are after this issue. But I'll be picking it up, see if they can top this story arc. But this has been a pretty good run. A new one from Boom Studios, Basilisk, Chapter 1. If you know anything about the mythical creature, the basilisk, it can kill you with its eyes. And from what I've been reading, I haven't read this book yet, but there are a bunch of senses, like your eyes, your ears, senses-based villains out there terrorizing. And I believe the main character of this book, the basilisk, used to be one of them, and she had the ability to destroy things with her eyes. And she's trying to turn over a new leaf, it seems like. She met somebody that she's hurt before, and they're trying to stop the other. The group is called the Chimeras. They're trying to stop them. Interesting premise, and hopefully it's a good book. I'll let you know. I'll be picking up at least the first 3 issues, I believe. The Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, here we are going into another story arc. This is like 3 within, I know, the last couple months. We got out of Last Remains and went into whatever the last one was called. And now we're into the Chameleon Conspiracy, and none of them feel like they've ever finished completely. But they're like leading into this big thing. I don't know. There's going to be, I think, like this one shot with the Sinister. It's called the Sinister War, I believe. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're doing with this. Again, not going to talk much about it until something special happens. We're like changing the writer. Ironheart Fist. Ironheart Fist? That sounds painful. Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon. This has been a really good series. I believe this might be the last one. We're finally going to get to the conclusion of this. So there's been people going around killing all the dragons under heaven. I believe that's what they're called. I'm not too familiar with Iron Fist's terminology. But yeah, there's something going around killing all the dragons, trying to take their hearts, and I believe it is another dragon trying to claim all under heaven. But Iron Fist, some of the I'm gonna not try to pronounce her name. The group from Wakanda, the warriors from there, are trying to help, along with this ragtag team like Luke Cage and this little girl, this little goblin guy, and a tiny dragon. It's just a fun little story, nothing super serious, and I think this is the end anyway. So it's been all right. A series I've been loving, Noctera. This is issue number 4. I believe this cover is Jenny Frison, maybe. Yeah, I think we're finally going to see something happen here. I mean, a lot's been happening. It's been action packed. It's kind of Mad Maxy Fury Road at this time, where they're just driving and there's people behind them chasing them. It's been a fun ride so far, and I'm hooked on this book. This one, if you're not picking this one up, we're almost to issue number 5. They'll probably release a trade. Pick up the trade. It'll be worth it. Sam and His Talking Gun, number 3. I feel like it's been forever since the first one came out. Then the second one released, I believe, last month, maybe. And I was totally kind of lost. I was like, what was happening here? Because there was just so much space in between these books. But the last one was really good. He was on the search for his gun. He was kind of locked up and was trying to escape to find his gun. And by the title, the gun talks to him, at least. Maybe he's the only one that hears it. We don't know. But I love that cover, the negative, the all red suit, and the story hasn't been too bad, so I'll give this one some more time. Last minute pickup for me, being a light week, Apex Legends Overtime. This is a 1 out of 4, so it's going to be a little mini series. I play Apex from time to time, so I'm kind of interested in the characters and whatnot, a little familiar with them. And I saw this and I thought, it's a little bit of a light week for me. Why not give this a shot? So I heard it's kind of like a heist situation, and Ocean's 11 style. I'm all in. I loved heist movies, so just hopefully it's good. If it's not, it's only 4 issues. Now, one I didn't have on my list, but I wanted to pick up today was The Nice House on the Lake. I was kind of like looking at the art of some of the other covers because I had not seen the A cover. And I was like, it sounds weird. I don't know. The art, I'm kind of meh about. But then I started hearing other people talk about what the story's going to be about. And don't ask me right off the top of my head what it is. I can't remember, but it sounded amazing. It sounded very up my alley. So I'm going to be giving this one a shot. This is a DC Black Label, and Black Label tends to hit pretty well for me. So we'll be giving this a shot. James Tynion IV. That was another thing that drew me in. I do like his work. So hopefully this one's good. Another kind of last minute pickup, North Force. This is issue 0. Technically this is Savage Dragon 259, which, don't ask me anything about Savage Dragon. I know nothing about it. Never read a single issue, but I figured I would give this a shot. Being issue 0, maybe I can get in on some of the backstory of these characters. So we'll see. It looks goofy. It looks fun. Batman 109. This series has just been okay for the last couple issues. I mean, I like this cover a lot, so I picked this one up. But we'll see where this one goes. See if it goes anywhere worth following. The Swamp Thing issue 4. What an amazing cover. This series has been really good so far. It's been a new person portraying the Swamp Thing. He's definitely trying to learn the role as best he can, as quickly as he can, before he gets taken out himself. So it's been a good series. Definitely recommend. I believe that's a short mini run as well. Batman, The Adventures Continue, Season 2, Issue 1. I really enjoyed that first Adventures Continue series. It was really good. And I'm a huge fan of the animated series. So, you know, I gotta pick this one up. Batman is definitely killing it in the DC books lately. That's about all they put out anymore, it seems like. And this one's a little more fun, but still made towards adults a little bit more. So hopefully this one's as good as the first season. Star Wars. This is War of the Bounty Hunters #1. I had to go with the toy cover there, because I mean that just brings back memories for me. I used to have the toy, not in the box or anything, but man, I think I still have it floating around somewhere. But fantastic cover, and I'm all in on that bounty hunter war. So hopefully this is pretty good. All right. And I just went picking through the dollar bin a little bit today, and nothing super fancy. I found this series I'd never heard of, Double Shot. I believe it's just 2 stories, which seems to be the norm now anyway. But before that, they apparently had a series of it. So this one is Thor and the Hulk. The cover art looks really amazing. I'm not sure who does the cover art on these, but they did a phenomenal job. This one is my favorite. Issue #2. Look at that Doctor Doom sitting in a throne. I mean, that's just classic imagery. That's just great. This one is Doctor Doom and the Avengers. Issue #4, or 3 of 4. This says The Astonishing Ant-Man and the Fantastic Four. And lastly, issue 4. This has Doctor Strange and the Invincible Iron Man. Yeah, I figured there's only 4 of them, $1 a piece. Might be a good read. 2 stories each. Another one I picked up is this classic 90s X-Men. I mean, it's got the holographic lettering. It's got a wraparound cover that wraps around to the inside even. I mean, in the I was flipping through it a little bit, and it's got that 90s feel all the way through. So looked pretty cool. This one, X-Men 281, the Uncanny X-Men. This is the first appearance of Trevor Fitzroy, who happens to be a villain of Bishop mostly. And there was a new team in there called the Upstarts, who I think they're pretty much a dead team. Nobody really mentions them anymore. So just a couple first appearances. And then X-Man #1. This is the first cameo of Onslaught, from what I'm told. I think I just happened to see somebody mentioning that there's been an uptick in these in selling, but I just happened to find this one in the dollar bin for $1, so thought I'd pick it up. Well, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. If you can, leave me a like, leave me a comment, tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, what would you like to see me talk about. I mean, I'm all ears. I'm open to changing things around a little bit. Yep, so I guess you guys keep reading, enjoy, and have a good rest of your day. Thanks.